Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
I love her title. I say it every time we get together, but she's an eating psychology coach. And it's so not just a dietitian, not, just a coach. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but the psychology of eating is so important. And she helps people with that. She's also a doTERRA wellness advocate, and she's back on to help us. Holly Agnew joins us. Hi, Holly.
Hey there. How are you?
I'm good. How's everything going?
Great.
Yeah. We've talked about natural products before, but I'd love to go back to that and look at the difference in the cost of things, because I'm always looking at the price. Not that I'm trying to be frugal, but even today, I was online and I was going to buy organic almond milk, and I saw one versus the other, and one had 10 grams of protein, the other only had one, and it was $1 more for the more protein. I was like, you know what? I feel better with that. Am I making the right choice? I don't know. That's in my brain. But, we wrestle back and forth with the cost of over-the-counter products versus natural products, right?
Right. Yeah, a lot of people they want to make improvements in their life. They want to do something that's more natural, but they look at the price of it and they're like, well, that's so much more. Well, again, it depends on the products and the quality of the products. But if you look at things like doTERRA has products that are condensed, so they don't have water in them. You take them home, you get them shipped to you, you add your water at the end. So we have like dish soap, you can add, I have a wand that I wash my dishes with. So I put this in there and it disperses itself. We have foaming hand wash. You put this in, put about this much of this in and about that much water.
Oh, wow.
And this lasts a while. And you can change the concentration of it. Like my husband's a farmer, so when he comes in, he gets the full dose because he's got junk on his hands that, but for normal use, you can scale it down depending on what you're doing. And if you look at things like the cost of essential oils as opposed to the stuff you might find over the counter, yes, essential oils look more expensive. But you have to look at where they come from too. Like we have lemon. Lemon it comes from the rind. It's not juice. And when you look at it, it's very, I don't know if you can tell, but it's very runny. It's very, very runny. Huh. And so if I tip that over, it's going to come out very quickly. And we have other oils that are really thick, like vetiver. It's like syrup. You can turn it and you might get a drop out, after a minute or so. And how it's sourced is a big deal. Frankincense, for example, same size bottle. This is around, I think, $12 retail. This is around $100.
What?
Yeah. But when you look at how this is sourced, the frankincense, they actually are like more or less hanging off the side of a cliff, getting the resin from a tree. So and they have to take those, they're called resin teardrops, and they have to take those and get them, get the oil extracted from them. And all these people do it by hand. Wow. Jasmine is another one. Jasmine, the flowers can only be picked at a certain time of day. They have to be picked first thing in the morning before the sun comes up. And they showed us a video one time. It takes a big basket, like a huge basket, to make one bottle. One, and not one of these, not one of the big ones, one of these.
Unbelievable.
And that bottle, you're gonna flip it this $250 retail. Because it takes so much plant material and so much time to get it done, and people don't understand that. They go to Walmart and they buy a $5 bottle of frankincense. Oh, well, I got frankincense. No, you didn't. You got garbage.
So how long does let's say that $250 bottle of essential oil, how long does that last?
Well, again, it depends on how many drops you use at a time. Usually one drop will do you. And essential oils are not like over-the-counter stuff, as in like when you take something for a headache, you take one every 8 hours. That's not what we do with essential oils. Consistency is a really big thing. So you want to make sure that you're applying it consistently throughout the day until whatever is going on is done. So like if I'm having an upset stomach, I'm going to keep applying that every hour, half hour, depending on what's going on, until it's gone. Sometimes one application does it, sometimes it doesn't. So the more consistent you are with that, the better. Like I had something going on here in my neck where my gland was swollen, and I don't know what it was. I didn't go to the doctor because I diagnosed myself.
Well,
But it hurt.
let's say also that you're connected to the medical field.
Yeah, I have a medical background, so it helps.
Mhm.
But it hurt, and it hurt to swallow, and it wasn't like the normal sore throat. So I put one of our blends called On Guard. It's an immune boosting blend, and I just rubbed it here on my neck. Like whenever I thought of it throughout the day, I just carried it in my pocket, and I'm just rolling it on my neck. And by the end of the day, it was gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to say that we've been all getting ripped off, but we're not getting ripped off because we made the choice to buy those over-the-counter products that, don't really contain the legit ingredients. And, it goes back to buyer beware. It's out there. You need to know what you're buying. I wanted Palo Santo spray, and I went to Bath and Body Works. And if somebody can tell me otherwise, I don't really think there's Palo Santo in that spray. It smells good, but probably not, right?
Right. And when people look at essential oils and perfumes, the essential oils have been used in the perfume industry, but they're the ones that not most, a lot of essential oil companies reject. Like ones that we don't use, they'll sell somewhere else. I think, I don't know that for sure, but if it doesn't meet our standards, then they don't use it, and something else gets done with it. And a lot of perfumers use the cheaper stuff, or like if they want cinnamon for something, they'll cut it with its cousin cassia, because cassia is less expensive.
Wow. See, this is all the stuff we don't know about. Totally unaware of it.
Yeah. I mean, the manufacturers are very sneaky. Let's just say that.
And
they're looking for the dollar. And if you're going to pay it, they'll take it.
I think it also comes down to it's the brand. So like when you walk into a store, you see the brand, like say a perfume, cologne, you see the brand name, you just assume it's good when it says it has fragrances of musk and blah blah blah, bergamot. Yeah, but they're not saying it's in there. It has the fragrances of, so it could be anything. It's also
right.
Yeah, and you just drop $70 on that one bottle.
Yep. And see, I used to be like a big Yankee Candle and Bath and Body Works person. Like that's what I used all the time until I started doing research into what's in those products. And it's not good. I mean, the stuff in Bath and Body Works is not good for your body. It builds up a toxic load, and it can damage organs down the road if you use too much of it, which is scary.
Yeah.
And it's not just Bath and Body Works. That's like across the board with Bath and Body stuff.
Right. Yep. And it's so funny, people are buying, when I was in there the other day, antibacterial hand wash or sanitizer, right? So you think you're doing the right thing, but you have no idea what's in there, but yeah, of course, there's got to be some alcohol because that's going to kill the bacteria. What about the rest?
Yeah, well, you also have to think, because my daughter's a teacher, and they use hand sanitizer for everything. Like anytime the kids sneeze, they blow their nose, they cough, whatever, they're using hand sanitizer. Well, that doesn't kill just the bad bacteria on your hands, that kills the good bacteria. And I don't know about you, but when I grew up, I was outside all the time. Like I went outside, my mom locked the door behind me and said, come back in. You can come back in to eat, go to the bathroom, get a drink. But the rest of the day, you need to stay outside. So we didn't always have a place to wash our hands unless we were near a faucet, because we didn't have, sanitizer back then.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're finding now is because kids use so much hand sanitizer, they're actually getting liver damage because it's being overused. And it's not just kids. I mean, it's across the board. We don't need hand sanitizers that much. We don't need antibacterial soaps and that kind of stuff, because they don't kill just the good stuff, the bad stuff. They kill the good stuff too.
Sure.
And our bodies need that. Our bodies need all the different organisms so that we can build up resistance to them.
Well, I will tell you, even before COVID hit, I was somebody who was kind of obsessed with hand sanitizer and cleaning my hands. And it's only until COVID hit that I started reversing that and started realizing, because now it was on everybody's radar, studies were coming out, people were talking about sanitizer, and then I kind of weaned myself off of it. And now I kind of do it only if I remember, or I'm in a situation where, you know, sometimes I'll walk into a store, there's a dispenser. I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. Let me hit that. I just touched the door handle. But you know, you just got to be mindful of what you touch, keep your hands away from your face, and wash your hands. Like literally spend time in washing your hands. And you know, it's all habits. Just get in the habit of doing it, and then you're fine with it. You know, it's scary though when you think about what we do to ourselves and we don't even know
Right.
what.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you want to make sure that the soap you're using is an antibacterial. I think they've actually kind of gotten away from that now because they found out that it does a lot of more damage than good. You know, so now people turning to hand sanitizers instead, which is not a good thing. I mean, if you're going to use something to sanitize your hands, use an essential oil, because most essential oils, no matter what they are, have some type of antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral property to them. You know, it's not, and I would much rather put an oil on my hand like that than alcohol or something that's more toxic to my body.
Right. Right. What about lifestyle? Things that we do that we don't realize the effects down the road.
Well, think about this. Think about what your profession is. Like I used to work EMS. I worked in a hospital.
Mhm.
Guess what I also had? Starts with a S.
Staph infection.
Well, we had a lot of that floating around sometimes, but no, not that one. Stress.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, if you don't know how to handle stress, it can wreak havoc on your body. I mean, it literally can tear you apart from the inside out. And learning how to deal with stress is a big deal. You know, other things like say you're having trouble in your relationship, that can go over into how you perform at your job.
Oh, totally. Totally.
You know, how much stress you have can affect how you eat. You know, some
Yeah,
people eat a
all of that.
lot, some people don't eat. So, you know, there's so many different places that our lives are interconnected that people don't really think about.
Because they're
So,
moving so fast, a mile a minute, and they don't listen to their body. And Holly, I'm right there with you. I totally recognize all of that. Sometimes it takes too long, but I had an ulcer about 6 years ago. Had no idea what it was. I, you know, didn't get it diagnosed. I kind of put it off. I knew something was up with my stomach, and it came from lack of sleep, working too much, and getting up at 3 something in the morning, which I had done for decades. So it kind of all caught up with me. But it came to the point where I drove myself to the hospital. What guy said, you know, you just said like, yeah, you know, I diagnosed myself. I was doing the same thing. And it got to a point where my normally low blood pressure, I felt like my eyes were popping out of my head because I was so stressed out, not knowing what this feeling was. So a month, fast forward to a month ago, hadn't had any issues with that ulcer, wasn't getting a lot of sleep, dealing with a little bit of stress lately back then. Guess what came back? It came
yep.
back. So now we're on to the Nexium, and which does the job. But you know what? It's all about managing the stress. That's really what it is.
Yeah, and the things like Nexium and all that, those are not necessarily the best thing for you either. There are more natural options. So the best thing is to figure out what's causing it, because all the like the Nexium and all this over the counter stuff, that just masks the symptoms. It doesn't really address the issue. And
Agreed.
that's what the doctor is going to do when you go to them. They're going to mask the issue for the most part. Very few doctors actually go down to see what the root cause is. And until you treat the root cause, you're not going to have a solution that's really going to do what you want it to do.
So let's go there. We mentioned stress, and that's, you know, it's been a cliche for decades, but stress kills. It does.
Mhm.
What products does doTERRA have to reduce or help you reduce stress?
Well, we have all kinds of oils. We have the most popular one, lavender, of course, but not lavender doesn't work for everybody. I mean, it's okay with me, but it doesn't help me sleep. That it just doesn't cut it. And I actually have one of my members who's allergic to it, so
Mm,
she can't use it. We have a blend called Serenity that is wonderful. We have one called Balance, which does exactly what it says it does. It helps to balance your emotions. We have another couple other ones. Vetiver is one to help with sleep and stress, and cedarwood, Roman chamomile. And then we have a whole line of emotional aromatherapy oils. We have one called Console. Guess what that helps you with? And then one called Forgive. So if you have, somebody you need to forgive for whatever reason, that will help you with that. And we have one called Peace that helps to bring peace into your life.
Wow. Boy, they really do think this out well. They're addressing for your individual situation what products might work. You know what? I am going to Google what oil is in Forgive. And what was the other one? Console
And Peace. And then we have one called Passion. And Passion can be, passion for life or passion for your mate, depending on which way you want to go. I mean, it works wonders when you use it for your mate. We have one called Cheer.
Excuse me, I have to order something. Wow.
We have one called Cheer that helps to brighten your mood, and one called Motivate that helps to get you motivated for the day.
Now, these are these all oils that you typically, for these different things, everything that we're just talking about here, would that be ones that you would put in a diffuser?
Yeah, you can put all of them in a diffuser. They also come in roller balls, which are, I don't know if you know what roller balls are.
Yeah.
But they look kind of like little deodorants.
Yeah.
And you just roll them wherever. And you can actually use those as perfumes too.
Wow. See, this is where I struggle. I would not know what to do with that oil unless you told me. So I wouldn't know whether to put it in a diffuser, use the roller ball, a dip on pressure points. That's
right.
I'm maybe other people say the same thing.
Well, I have a Facebook group where I go live in every Tuesday night at 9, called Naturally Essential Solutions. And there's all kinds of information in there on how to use the oils. And, if you want to get your own account, there's one in there. There's a post in there on how to do that. If you want to share with somebody else, there's a post in there on how to do that. And it tells you, like right now, I'm going from A to Z through all the oils. I'm doing like 4 oils every Tuesday so that people can learn about the oils, because we have oils that, people, they may have them, but they don't know what to do with them. Because I have some that I use every day. Some I use when I need them. And then I'm like, well, what is it? I didn't even know this could be used for that until I started looking it up.
This is where I'm going with that. So yeah, thank you. How do we find that on your Facebook group?
Yeah, it's called Naturally Essentials Public Education.
Wow. See, this is where, and thank you for sharing, being honest, like that you deal with that. Like sometimes like, all right, what do I do with it? I know it's good. I know it's pure. And back to what you said before about lavender. In my mind, my jury is still out on that one. Whether it actually makes a difference, I'll put it on my pillow. I got to be more mindful of whether I sleep better. However, how do I know that it's pure lavender and it really is potent and is really doing the job? I don't know,
Right. So with our company anyway, and I'm pretty sure we're the only company that does, actually, I know we're the only company that does this for every oil, because we had a convention one year. We had one of the people that test oils for us come in, and they talked to us and they said, we love your company so much because you're the only company that we deal with that will let us post every single test result online. And they've actually had some manufacturers come to them and say, don't post this. And if you do, we're going to sue you. So on the bottom of our bottle, there is, I don't know if you can see it, there's some type here, and that has a lot number and an expiration date. So that you can look up that lot number in a place called source2u.com, and it tells you when it was sourced, how it was sourced, and the testing and everything that was done on it.
Okay, so let me understand this better. This is super cool, Holly. So the suppliers of the oil to doTERRA said, if you publish that, we're going to sue you. But what they do to get around it, and I could be wrong here, but help me, they put the lot number on the bottom of the bottle so you can do your due diligence and look up and see where it was sourced from in the lab results. Is that right?
I think you got that mixed up.
That's why I'm saying that.
Yeah. The people who test our oils, we have a bunch of third-party testers, and one of the testers came to us and said that somebody had told, another manufacturer had told them not to post their results.
Okay.
doTERRA is like, yes, go ahead, post anything you want. we're good because we know our oils are pure.
Got it. Okay. Thanks for the
Yeah.
clarification. Okay. Yeah. And that's so cool that you can just type in the lot number and get, all the information and details. Now, what's that website again to find that out?
Source2u.com.
Source2u.com. And that's not a doTERRA site. That's just a,
No, that is a doTERRA site. That's just our oils. We
okay.
don't have anybody else's oils on there.
Got it. Okay. So what that is just making it convenient. So you can just, look at that individual lot number and just look it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
That way, you get what you're paying for.
Yeah. And I love the transparency and the full disclosure. And like you said, you get what you pay for. That I don't know, $14 spray bottle of Palo Santo smells nice.
Yeah.
But, is it the real deal? Probably not. Now I know we have a couple of minutes left here. You have a challenge for us today, right? You did it last week. What challenge was last week? I'm trying to remember. We did the.
Oh, hold on. Let me look at.
Trying to remember. It was food related, I believe.
Yeah. What kind of life do you want to live?
Okay. What are we doing today?
This is what decision can you make today to improve one area of your life? So that can be as simple as, if you park in a parking garage, park the furthest place away, walk into where you work rather than take the elevator, take the stairs. If you don't get any movement during the day, take 10 minutes, walk 5 minutes away from where you are, walk 5 minutes back. Just do something to improve an area of your life.
I love that. Kind of makes you think about it. And even emotionally, like I just started, and I know I should have been doing this forever, but I just started yesterday journaling.
Right.
Writing down things I'm grateful for. And I ignored it. And everybody is throwing it at me. Why are you not doing that? I'm like, is it really going to make a difference? What do I got to lose? It takes maybe 40 seconds to write 5 things or whatever it might be. I wanted to share with you because this just came out today and totally backs up what you just said in terms of exercise. Literally out today. Study in Australia found even just 2 minutes of exercise a day, 2 minutes can help you live longer.
Right. Yeah. And I'll tell you what what I used to tell my health kids. If you don't take care of your body will take care of you. If you don't, if you don't give it what it needs and you don't, take care of it by eating healthfully and getting the exercise, the rest, reducing your stress, then you'll pay for it down the road.
Oh, just like a car. And it is such a true connection. We are amazing machines. Look at a car. If you don't put new tires on, get oil changes, keep up on everything, beat on it when you're driving, what's going to happen? It's going to start falling apart. You're going to have issues with it along the way. And you have to. Who does not get a regular oil change? Whatever the manufacturer's recommendation is, there's, all different ones, but typically every 3,000 miles, whatever. Imagine if you didn't do that. If you waited like 20,000 miles, you wouldn't mention.
And the thing is, a lot of people, they get so accustomed. There's another word, but I can't think of it. So accustomed to feeling a certain way that when they start feeling better, they're like, oh my gosh, I never knew that I felt so bad.
Yeah. Conditioned.
Yeah. There you go.
You get conditioned. Yeah. And it's all about habits too, because, hey, I'll admit, I'm sure you would too. When you got to do something, unless you're in the habit of doing it, you either forget or it's a pain. Like, oh, I got to do this. The 2 minutes of exercise a day, you start doing that for a week. You don't even know you're doing it. Like you just said, get up out of your chair at work, go walk around the parking lot, walk around the interior of the building if it's cold. And you just got exercise. Why wouldn't you do it if you can?
Yeah.
And also using products that are good for you. doTERRA. If we go to your website, which is Holly's with an
www.
Thank you. Holly's with an S, holistichealth.net. We'll find the link to look at the products for doTERRA, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. All right. Let's start thinking of those things that just one thing, that you can improve your life, and they either mentally or physically start doing that. Holly, great having you on here today. And I am going to go to the website because I am curious in those products like forgiveness and the other ones, what actual oils are in there? I'm wondering what correlates to those situations.
What's your question again?
Forgiveness for
Forgive.
Yeah, forgive. And the other one, I think it was console. I think it was.
Console.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's console, peace, cheer, passion, and motivate. And
That should be the first one I'm looking up. Okay. What kind of oil it is. But one thing we know for sure, it's legit oil. Great having you on, Holly. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.